Special thanks to you all for always supporting us with your likes, comment, subscriptions and super thanks. God bless you. When life feels like walking through fire, here is what you must do. Life often presents seasons where trials feel overwhelming, and challenges burn intensely, like walking through a fire. In these moments, how you respond can determine whether you emerge refined or consumed. Here's what you must do when life feels unbearable. Sam. Life has been so difficult for me. I'm about to give up.
Wow. You cannot give up. I have to explain some things to you.
Okay. What is that?
Life often presents seasons where trials feel overwhelming and challenges burn intensely, like walking through fire. In these moments, how you respond can determine whether you emerge refined or consumed. Here's what you must do when life feels unbearable.
Please tell me. 1. Acknowledge the fire but focus on God.
Denying the reality of your struggles doesn't extinguish the flames, nor does pretending they don't exist. True faith begins with honesty, recognizing that the trial is real, the pain is intense, and the fire feels all-consuming. Yet, even in the midst of this honesty, your focus must shift from the heat of the flames to the greatness of God. The fire may roar, but it is not greater than the one who holds you through it. Isaiah 43 verse 2 offers a life-giving promise. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. Notice the word when. It doesn't say if. The fire is a guaranteed part of life. However, the assurance is that you will not be consumed because God's presence acts as your shield. Just as he was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace, Daniel 3, he walks with you, ensuring that the fire purifies but does not destroy.
Really? Please tell me more.
Focusing on the enormity of your problem only magnifies it. Fear grows when you feed it your attention. But when you shift your gaze to God, something miraculous happens. His peace begins to fill the space where fear once resided. God's power, wisdom, and sovereignty take center stage, reminding you that the fire is temporary, but his promises are eternal. When you fixate on your struggles, they become overwhelming mountains. However, focusing on God turns those mountains into stepping stones. You may still feel the heat, but you'll also sense the cooling presence of the one who holds the outcome in his hands. Consider Peter walking on water toward Jesus. As long as he focused on Christ, he defied the storm and waves. The moment he looked at the chaos around him, fear overtook him, and he began to sink. Matthew 14 verse 28 to 30. The same principle applies when walking through life's fiery trials. Keeping your focus on God doesn't deny the flames, but reminds you of his greater power.
What are the action steps I need to take, please?
Number 1. Acknowledge your struggle in prayer. Be honest with God about what you're facing. Name the struggle, whether it's a health crisis, financial challenge, or emotional burden. Lay it before him without holding back. Number 2. Meditate on God's promises. Memorize scriptures like Isaiah 43 verse 2 and repeat them aloud daily. Let them sink deep into your heart, replacing fear with faith. Number 3. Worship through the fire. Worship shifts your focus. Sing songs that declare God's power and goodness, even when your situation feels bleak. Worship creates an atmosphere where God's presence overshadows the flames. You're not walking through the fire alone. Each step you take is under his watchful eye, and every flame that tries to consume you is under his control. The fire that feels unbearable today is the same fire God will use to refine you, strengthen you, and showcase his glory in your life. So, when the flames rise, acknowledge them, but then lift your eyes to the one who promises to bring you through untouched. Please don't forget to support us by liking, sharing and subscribing to our channel. God bless you.
I see. 2. Embrace the refining process.
Fire isn't just destructive, it's transformative. Just as a silversmith uses intense heat to purify precious metals, God uses life's fiery trials to refine your character, deepen your faith, and align your purpose with his divine plan. The flames may feel overwhelming, but their purpose is to reveal and strengthen the treasure within you. Zechariah 13 verse 9 declares, I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people, and they will say, the Lord is our God. This verse highlights that God allows trials not to harm you, but to refine you, making you stronger, pure, and more radiant for his glory. Just as gold cannot shine without enduring the fire, your faith cannot grow without being tested.
Really?
Resisting the refining process often leads to stagnation. Trials are opportunities for growth, not punishment. When you embrace the process, your pain gains purpose. God uses the fire to burn away what doesn't serve your calling: doubt, fear, pride, or self-reliance, and shapes you into a vessel ready to receive His blessings. The refining process may feel like loss, but in reality, it's gain. Each hardship removes a layer of impurities, making room for God's power to work through you. When you allow the fire to transform you, you come out stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the responsibilities and blessings ahead. Think about a silversmith who refines silver. The silversmith knows the process is complete when he can see his reflection in the molten silver. Similarly, God uses trials to mold you into His image. The more you yield to Him, the more your life reflects His glory.
Interesting. So when you embrace the process, your pain gains purpose. God uses the fire to burn away what doesn't serve your calling: doubt, fear, pride, or self-reliance, and shapes you into a vessel ready to receive His blessings.
You must always remember that the refining fire is a testament to your value in God's eyes. He doesn't refine what isn't precious. When the flames feel overwhelming, remind yourself that this process is evidence of His deep love and investment in your life. Each moment in the fire is shaping you into the person He's called you to be: strong, resilient, and radiant with His glory. Embrace the process, for it is preparing you for greater things than you can imagine.
That would be nice. 3. Lean into the power of community.
When life's challenges feel overwhelming, it's natural to withdraw, thinking isolation will ease the pain. Yet, this is the very time when you need others most. God created us to thrive in relationships, and during fiery trials, the Red community becomes a source of strength, wisdom, and encouragement. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9-10 teaches, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up." This verse highlights the power of partnership and support. Godly community doesn't just help you survive your trials, it equips you to overcome them. When one person is weak, others can stand in the gap with prayer, encouragement, and practical assistance.
I think I understand this. It is true.
Isolation is the enemy's tool to magnify despair. Alone, it's easy to feel like your burdens are insurmountable, but community brings hope and perspective. Others can remind you of God's promises when your faith wavers, pray for you when your strength falters, and celebrate with you when the trial ends. God often speaks through people, using them to provide the comfort and direction you need. Leaning into community isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. It shows that you understand the value of fellowship and the power of shared faith. Consider the story of Moses during the battle against Amalek, Exodus 17 verse 8-13. When Moses grew tired of holding up his hands in prayer, Aaron and Hur came alongside him, holding up his arms so the Israelites could prevail. This story demonstrates the strength found in community. Alone, Moses would have failed, but with the help of others, victory was secured.
I see. What are the action steps I must take?
Number 1. Identify your circle. Surround yourself with people who are grounded in faith, friends, family, mentors, or a church group. These individuals will point you to God and provide practical support. Number 2. Be vulnerable. Share your struggles openly with trusted individuals. Vulnerability invites connection and allows others to pray for you and offer encouragement. Number 3. Seek out fellowship. Join a small group, Bible study, or church community where you can build relationships with others who are walking in faith. Number 4. Offer support in return. Community isn't just about receiving. It's also about giving. Supporting others in their trials strengthens the bond and allows God to work through you.
This is serious.
Lean into the truth that God never intended for you to face life's fires alone. Community is a gift that reflects His heart. He works through others to lift you when you fall, speak life when you're weary, and remind you that you are not alone. When the flames of life feel unbearable, let the voices of your community drown out the lies of the enemy. Together, you will emerge stronger, refined, and victorious, because God moves powerfully when His people come together in faith and love.
I see. 4. Hold on to hope in God's promises.
When life feels like a relentless fire, it's easy to believe the flames will never subside. Yet, as children of God, we are not left to face the heat alone. God's promises shine like beacons of hope, reminding us that trials are temporary, and His plans for us are always good. Romans 8 verse 28 declares, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." This verse reminds us that even the most painful moments serve a divine purpose. Like a master weaver, God takes every thread of hardship and weaves it into a masterpiece for His glory and our ultimate good. Another reassuring promise is found in Jeremiah 29 verse 11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future." God's plans aren't derailed by fiery trials, they are often fulfilled through them.
When life feels like a relentless fire, it's easy to believe the flames will never subside. I can relate.
Hope is not wishful thinking. It is the confident expectation of God's faithfulness. When you anchor yourself in God's promises, discouragement loses its grip, and despair cannot take root. Holding on to hope keeps your eyes fixed on the outcome rather than the obstacle. Trials are refining, but they are not permanent. God uses them to shape you, grow your faith, and prepare you for the blessings to come. By clinging to His promises, you can walk through the fire with courage, knowing that victory is on the horizon.
But how do I hold on to hope?
Hope doesn't come automatically, it requires intentional action. One way to strengthen your hope is by immersing yourself in God's Word. His promises are like lifelines, pulling you out of despair and into faith. Memorize scriptures that speak to His faithfulness and let them guide your thoughts and prayers.
I see. What about how to cultivate this action?
Write down God's promises. Find verses that resonate with your current struggles. Write them on sticky notes or index cards and place them where you'll see them daily, on your mirror, desk, or even your phone. Declare them aloud. Speak God's promises over your life. Faith comes by hearing, Romans 10 verse 17, and declaring His word reminds your heart and mind of His truth. Keep a gratitude journal. Record daily blessings, no matter how small. Gratitude shifts your focus from the flames to God's goodness. Pray with expectation. When you pray, thank God in advance for the good He is bringing out of your situation. This act of faith fuels hope. Surround yourself with encouragement. Listen to worship music, sermons, or podcasts that reinforce God's promises and keep your spirit uplifted.
Wow. This interesting.
Yes, it is. Remember, every fire has an end, and every trial carries a purpose. God sees the bigger picture and is working behind the scenes for your good. Like gold refined in the fire, you will emerge stronger, more resilient, and ready for the blessings He has prepared. When the flames feel overwhelming, let God's promises be the anchor for your soul. His word is unchanging, His plans are perfect, and His love for you is unending. Hold on to hope, for the same God who walks with you through the fire will lead you into a season of restoration, joy, and victory.
5. Keep moving forward in faith.
When life's challenges feel like an unbearable blaze, it's natural to want to stop, sit down, and give up. But God doesn't call us to stagnation, He calls us to keep moving forward in faith. Even when the path is uncertain and the flames feel close, your steps of faith demonstrate trust in God's promises and open the door for His guidance and provision. David's declaration in Psalm 23 verse 4 provides a powerful image of faith in action. "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Notice David says walk, not sit or stop. Forward movement, even in the darkest moments, reflects confidence in God's presence and protection. Similarly, in Exodus 14 verse 15, as the Israelites faced the Red Sea with Pharaoh's army behind them, God commanded Moses, "Tell the Israelites to move on." Instead of allowing fear to paralyze them, they stepped forward and witnessed a miraculous deliverance.
You are actually right. I was almost giving up. Because I couldn't bear it anymore.
I understand. Staying still in the midst of trials can lead to despair, doubt, and spiritual stagnation. Forward movement, no matter how small, is an act of faith that tells God, "I trust you to lead me." It's a declaration that you believe the fire is temporary and that God's promises are greater than your current pain. Progress, even incremental, builds momentum. Each step becomes a testimony of God's faithfulness, strengthening your faith for the journey ahead. Moving forward doesn't mean solving every problem in one day, it means taking one step at a time, trusting God to guide the rest. Faith is not about knowing every detail of the outcome, but believing in the one who holds the outcome in his hands.
Faith is not about knowing every detail of the outcome, but believing in the one who holds the outcome in his hands.
Definitely. Let me tell you the action steps to take. Number 1. Pray for guidance. Start your day by asking God for clarity on the next steps he wants you to take. Number 2. Address small challenges. Identify one thing within your control that you can tackle today, whether it's making a phone call, setting a goal, or mending a relationship. Number 3. Seek godly counsel. Lean on mentors, pastors, or trusted friends who can offer wisdom and encouragement. Number 4. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge every step forward, no matter how small. Gratitude fuels perseverance. Number 5. Anchor yourself in Scripture. Meditate on verses like Philippians 3 verse 13 to 14, which encourages pressing on toward the goal despite challenges.
Now I understand why I go through my challenges. God is actually in the story, and I'm not alone. I can't thank you enough.
I'm happy you can see God's love at the center of it all. Faith is like walking in the fog. You may not see far ahead, but every step brings you closer to the breakthrough. As you keep moving forward, God promises to guide your steps. Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6. He doesn't ask you to run or leap, just to keep walking, trusting him with every stride. Let the words of Isaiah 40 verse 31 inspire you, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Your perseverance in the fire is not wasted, it strengthens you, refines you, and prepares you for the blessings ahead. Remember, the fire is temporary, but God's purpose for you is eternal. Keep moving forward, knowing that each step is one closer to the victory and peace he has promised.
I have really learned today. My hope is alive again. God bless you.
Oh yes. Jesus is Lord. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to support us by liking, sharing and subscribing to our channel. God bless you.